Next question coming in from Ballin' Like Bob. Who are some players the Knicks can trade for? I'm glad you asked this question because we covered this recently on one of our shows, and I believe we have a list cooked up that I put together of some of the top Knicks trade targets who I think they should go after. Now, you look at the Knicks roster right now, really solid team with a couple of really good young pieces in R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel quickly, Obi Toppin. We'll see if they trade away Julius Randle, which would free up a lot of money to maybe absorb a big contract for a Malcolm Brogdon, who got paid last offseason. Donovan Mitchell is superb as an offensive player. He is the star that the New York Knicks have been looking for a really long time and haven't been able to get their hands on since Carmelo Anthony. They also might have a need in the front court if Mitchell Robinson were to leave in free agency. If that's the case, Indiana Pacers, they're rebuilding to a certain degree. Are they willing to trade away Myles Turner like they traded away some of their players last year in Domantas Sabonis? I think Myles Turner would be a good fit on the New York Knicks, and I think he's somewhat underrated as one of the best shot blockers at the NBA level. Jalen Brunson getting rave reviews for what he was able to do in the NBA playoffs as Luka Doncic's sidekick. And when Luka was out, I thought that Jalen Brunson played good basketball. It's about time that people are hyping up Jalen Brunson. Watched him at Nova, win 2 national championships, player of the year in college basketball. That, of course, would have to be a sign and trade as he's about to be a free agent. And then the big one. If you can go big fish, big game hunting and find a way to trade for Damian Lillard, you have the draft capital to do it. You have some of the aforementioned young players who I just listed. I think Damian Lillard, he's staying in Portland, but he has said, I love playing at Madison Square Garden. One can dream. So let me ask you this question for all the Knicks fans out there. Will the Knicks make the playoffs next year? Type P for playoffs, FT for fire Thibs, because if they don't make the playoffs, I think they're going to fire Thibs. Let me know in the comment section right now. Magic Mitch, do you have any NBA draft sleepers? Yeah, I recently talked about this on one of our main chat sports shows. NBA draft sleepers right now. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, prototypical 3-and-D guy who could play really good defense and hit about 40% of his three-point attempts. He's climbing up draft boards right now, could sneak into the first round. Kofi Cockburn out of Illinois is just a physical low down low. Has to be better free throws because if not, he'll be a liability late in games, but on both ends, really good. Colin Gillespie, what a wonderful career at Villanova. A couple trips to national championship games, 2 Final Fours, Big East Player of the Year last year. Is just really good and a heady point guard. Jake LaRavia out of Wake Forest can kind of do it all offensively and defensively. And Kai Soto. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Kai Soto. I think over time, he can be a pretty solid rotational big man at the NBA level. If guys like Taco Fall and Boban Marjanovic can stay on NBA rosters, I think Kai Soto can make it as well. As a guy who could be one of the top 5 prospects, in addition to Shaedon Sharpe, I really like him. But those 5 guys right now, my top 5 prospects in this upcoming 2022 NBA draft class. Let me know your top 5 prospects in the draft. Get creative in the comment section right now. A reminder for all of you. A lot of you who are watching right now are subscribed to the channel as we have surpassed a milestone here at Chat Sports of 300,000 subscribers. And a big reason why we've been able to grow our subscriber count, we kick it off with our live events. And we're going to be doing that on Thursday, June 23rd for the 2022 NBA Draft. We'll be live breaking down every single selection for both rounds, seeing which players go where, and some of the fascinating storylines that do ensue. So make sure you subscribe and join us if you haven't done so already. You see the link flashing at the bottom of your screen. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv, or simply just hit that red subscribe button. Chef Curry, do you think the Knicks will draft Johnny Davis at number 11 in the NBA draft? He's built for the Knicks. I wouldn't hate the selection. Johnny Davis last year, the best scorer in the college ranks at Wisconsin. He was really good, hovering around 20 points per game, less than 30% from beyond the arc. If he wants to be a consistent offensive go-to guy at the NBA level, has to be more consistent as a bucket getter because that's his specialty. So I want to set him down if I'm an NBA head coach, an executive, if I'm in the front office, and I want to tell him, look, Johnny, you have scoring ability. If you want that to be your marquee trait, you have to be more consistent. You got to get in the gym and work out some of those flaws. With the Knicks, though, yeah, I agree. They have to go after a player, in my opinion, who can help them right away. I'm looking at Johnny Davis. I'm looking at Benedict Mathurin, a player like Jeremy Sohan. would certainly be intriguing. Another player out there could also enter the equation. But right now, a couple of those players, AJ Griffin, another guy who kind of comes to mind. Ready to win now players for the New York Knicks. Who are your top 5 NBA draft prospects in order? Okay, so this is funny because I was going to hit on this, and we've talked about it some over time. Here is my list of the top 5 prospects in the 2022 NBA draft class, and my list is different than a lot of people out there. I have Chet Holmgren all the way down at number 4 because I have serious concerns about how he's going to be able to add weight over time and if he's going to be able to add weight to his frame. He's a little bit too skinny. And don't come at me with, well, if Kevin Durant can flourish and succeed at the NBA level with that body type, can't Chet Holmgren? That's disrespectful. Completely different players, and Kevin Durant is one of the best shot makers that we've ever seen in the history of the NBA, and Chet Holmgren doesn't have the elements of his offensive game that KD has in his toolbox. But my top 5 prospects, it's Jabari Smith. The length, the athleticism, the bounce, the offensive play, 40+% from 3. Love his work ethic, and he can literally score from anywhere on the floor. And I think scoring ability is the number 1 attribute when evaluating draft prospects. Because of that length and that athleticism, he can be a legitimate two-way player. Paolo Banchero reminds me a little bit of Chris Webber. His shooting stroke is somewhat clean, and he has to get a little bit better defensively, but he can do a lot offensively, passing and scoring really like him. Jaden Ivey doesn't necessarily have the athleticism of a Ja Morant, but has the explosiveness and the athleticism to take over games. And then Benedict Mathurin coming in at number 5. I think people are sleeping on him as a guy who could be one of the top 5 prospects in addition to Shaedon Sharpe. I really like him, but those 5 guys right now, my top 5 prospects in this upcoming 2022 NBA draft class. Let me know your top 5 prospects in the draft. Get creative in the comment section right now. To all of our loyal subscribers getting those questions in, we greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to us here at Chat Sports, do so right now by hitting that red subscribe button for more content like this. Key with this, which trade rumor do you think will actually happen? That's a good one. I think DeAndre Ayton is going to leave the Phoenix Suns, and I think that he is going to get traded, and I think it's going to be a sign and trade. I don't think that DeAndre Ayton is going to be allowed to leave by the Phoenix Suns for nothing as a former number 1 overall pick, so I do think he gets dealt somewhere to a team that needs a center, like the Dallas Mavericks, maybe the Charlotte Hornets, Portland Trail Blazers, a sneaky team out there as well.